So, welcome to Pilates. We're going to start laying down today and end up standing. If you're somebody who is prone to neck pain, it's a good idea to grab something to put under your head, right? This is a garden kneeler that's been cut in half, right? And what you're looking for when you lay down always to have your head be in neutral is that when you lay down, you don't feel like your chin is either lifted or tucked in towards your throat, because either is not neutral. Neutral is where your chin is just resting in a comfortable place, neither up nor down. Now, let's see if we can find neutral spine. So I want you to have your legs bent, your feet within the width of your body. And I just want you to pay attention to the back curve of your spine. It's easiest to feel in the back, of course, it's in the front too. But right, of course, your head's down, your neck is up. Ideally, your ribs are down. And lots of times, because we carry a lot of stress to our shoulder girdle, your shoulders, like your shoulder blades, will feel like they have a lot of pressure on them. And then below your shoulder blades towards your belly button will feel light on the floor. Ideally, it's opposite to that, that the ribs are heavy and the shoulder blades are light, and then the low back is light, and the pelvis is heavy, and the feet are light. Yeah. Now, if you're having a hard time getting those ribs heavy, remember an exhale like a sigh will help them settle towards the floor. And then once you get them rested down a little bit more, just find your Pilates breath. You're going to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. See if you can sense the ribs expanding towards your elbows on your inhale and contracting sideways away from your elbows on your exhale. Inhaling through your nose because we've got filter there, and exhale through your mouth. Just one more here. And then we're going to move to our imprint. So you're going to take an inhale to prepare. You're going to exhale deep in your core work to flatten that low back down towards the floor. Inhale, come back to neutral. Now, let's make sure we're using the right part of our core to do this. I want you to bring your hands to your belly. Exhale, imprint, which is where, right, we're taking that low back down towards the floor, and inhale, come back to neutral. Now, as you do your imprint, you're going to notice your pubic bone roll towards your belly button. And as you come back to neutral, it rolls away. You're going to keep your feet light, so you don't press into your feet to create that imprint. And what you're looking for with your hands on your belly is that there's some tensioning in the belly, but it's not wanting to push outwards. And if it's wanting to push outwards, you're trying to use that six-pack muscle. Well, your body thinks a six-pack muscle does this exercise. It does, and it's deeper. Exhale, imprint, and inhale, neutral. Now we're going to go to a basic hip release here. And let's today have your thumbs on your ribs, your fingertips on your pelvis, just so you can feel how much they want to move around today. Because ideally the ribs and the pelvis are fairly quiet on this. I want you to turn one knee out without changing that squareness of your thumbs and fingers, right? That we're creating a square in the front here. And then you're going to slide your leg straight, turn your knee in and bend it. So you're trying to keep that square 100% square the whole time. So turn out, slide your leg straight, turn in, bend it. Are you breathing? Turn out, slide your leg straight, turn in, bend it. One more here, out, straighten, in and bend. Now reverse, go inward, straighten, outward, bend, inward, straighten, outward, bend, inward. And so inward's not just the ceiling, towards the ceiling, it's towards your other knee, but still trying to keep that square. Yeah. Now we're going to go over to the other leg. So go outward, straighten, inward, bend, outward, straighten, inward, bend, outward, straighten, inward, bend. One more, outward, straighten, inward, and bend. We're going to reverse. Go inward, straighten, outward, bend, inward, straighten, outward, bend. So we're just kind of stirring that thigh bone in the joint. One more here, inward, straighten, outward, and bend. And let's flip onto our side, do a little bit of rotational breathing here. So right underneath arm supports the head, knees are bent, they're in front of you, right angle at the hip and the knee, and right, you want to feel that the weight's on the outside of the thigh. If it doesn't, your hips are a little far forward, just kind of scooch them back a bit. Then you're going to take your top arm, reach it forward, shoulder distance off the floor in front of you. Inhale, point that top hand at the ceiling, turn to look at it. Exhale, turn your ribs back as you reach your knees forwards. Inhale, into your back. And exhale, come back to where you started. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn your ribs backwards. Inhale, hold this. Exhale, coming forwards. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn back. Inhale, stay. Exhale, forward, 2 breaths. Inhale back. Exhale, forward. Now, as you're doing this, ideally, you can see that hand the whole time quite easily. If not, you're going for a chest stretch, and we're going for a spinal rotation. One more here. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Let's do this on the other side. So right underneath arms supports your head. Knees are in front of you, right angle at the hip and the knee. Feel some weight on the outside of that bottom thigh. Top arms reach forward. You're going to inhale, point your top hand at the ceiling, turn to look at it. Exhale, turn your ribs back as you reach that top knee forward. Inhale. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn your ribs backwards. Inhale, hold. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn your ribs backwards. Inhale, hold. And exhale forward, 2 breaths. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Remember, keep that top knee reaching forward as you go back, because ideally, you're not moving a lot below the waist. You're moving belly button up, yeah? One more of these. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Now, let's go onto our hands and knees. I want your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, hands shoulder distance apart, knees sit bone distance apart. Our shoulders are wider than our hips. So right now, your hands are wider than your knees. If your wrists are sore, remember, you can always be up on your knuckles. You're going to take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, point your tail down at the floor, scoop your back up to the ceiling, look back at your knees, take an inhale, hold. Exhale, flatten back out again. Take an inhale. Exhale, point your tail down at the floor, scoop your belly button in, look back at your knees, inhale into the back of the ribs. Exhale, flatten back out again. Take an inhale. Exhale, curling around, inhale, hold it. Exhale, flatten, 2 breaths. Exhale, round. Inhale, flatten. Exhale, round. Inhale, flatten. One more here, round. And flatten. Now, can we undulate the spine? So as you round, shift your weight towards your fingertips. As you flatten, shift towards your heels. Exhale, round. Inhale, flatten. Really trying to get a kind of push up between those shoulder blades to start to get this wave going through the spine. One more here. And we're just going to pull our tail to one side and then the other, just to get the side body a little bit more moving, breathing here. And let's go onto our backs for a little bit of hip roll. For hip roll, we're going to be lifting our butts off the floor, so nothing extra under your head. I want your legs bent, your feet within the width of your pelvis. And see if you can find neutral right now. It might be easier than it was a moment ago. So right pelvis heavy, low back light, ribs heavy. Take an inhale. Exhale, imprint, then press your feet into the floor. Roll on up onto your shoulder blades. Take an inhale here. Exhale, roll through the ribs, low back, release the pelvis to neutral, so pelvis heavy, feet light. Take an inhale. Exhale, imprint, press into the feet, lift on up, knees stack over ankles. Inhale. Exhale, rolling back down again. Inhale. Exhale, imprint. Press your feet in the floor and lift. Inhale. And exhale back down again. Let's do a couple of these on the 2 breaths. So exhale, roll up. Inhale, roll down. Exhale, roll up. Inhale, roll down. Just one more of those. Rolling up and rolling down. Now, if you like something extra under your head, you're going to grab it, pop it under your head, and we're going to go to some shoulder blade isolations here. So, right, double check, feet light, pelvis heavy, low back light, ribs heavy, arms up in front of the chest, straight arms. Now just inhale, reach those fingertips forward. Exhale, draw back till the upper chest and upper back feel equally wide. Inhale, forward. Exhale, neutral. Now, the tricky thing about this is you try to keep your hands the same distance apart the whole time, so they're not getting closer together and further apart. We're just moving the shoulder girdle, which is your collarbones and shoulder blades, around the rib cage. One more here. Now, once we found neutral, let's just use an exhale to reach back towards the floor above your head. Inhale, bring your hands up in front of your chest. Now we're going to keep your ribs heavy and your elbows straight. People have a tendency to bend their arms as they reach back because they're trying to touch the floor. And if you want to work on just isolating the movement of the arm in the shoulder socket, right, we don't drop all the way to the floor because you might be able to get there, but you'd be changing the shoulder joint to do that. We're going to turn this into a circle. So you're going to inhale, reach both arms back towards the floor above your head. Exhale, circle your hands around to your legs. Inhale, through the middle and towards the floor above your head. Exhale, circle to your legs. Inhale, up through the middle. Exhale, circle. Now, when you come through the middle, hands are shoulder distance apart, collarbones are nice and wide. Let's reverse that. Inhale, circle around. Then turn your palms to face each other. Exhale, come down the middle. Inhale around the outside and exhale down the middle. Now, if we're really focusing on the movement of the humerus bone in the shoulder joint, without moving the shoulder joint, hands stay above torso. You could go below the torso. You just take you're moving the shoulder joint itself to make that happen. Yeah, one more here. Down the middle and around the outside. And ending down the middle. Let your arms rest on the floor by your hips, and we'll go to our head nod. Keeping your head heavy on whatever it's resting on, just a little nod, and then release. Inhale, tiny nod. Exhale, release. Now remember, when you do this, try to keep the front of the throat open. Trying to just reach the top of the head away from the top of the shoulders. So we're getting a nice little bit of lengthening in the back of the neck, but right, our neck is often very tight because we poke our head forward because we're friendly when we talk to each other, or we have a tendency to do it when we drive cars or look at computers and stuff. Let's go back to the shoulders. I want you to lift your arms up just a little bit off the floor, turn your palms inwards towards each other, and then make sure you find that place where your upper back and upper chest feel equally wide. You're going to inhale, shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Exhale, shrug them towards your heels. Inhale, up towards your ears. Exhale, down towards your heels. Inhale, up. Exhale, back down again. One more here. Inhale, up. And exhale, back down again. We're going to go to our ab press. So, right, let's pop our hands behind our head. Right? Now, lots of Pilates instructor teach it without the hands behind the head. I like the challenge of the weight of your arms there. I also find it gets people out of using the muscles on the front of their throat to lift their head, because we want to find something deeper. Now, right? You want to have your elbows where your ribs and shoulders are in neutral. So your elbows are not straight sideways and they're not straight up at the ceiling. They're somewhere in between. Feet are light, pelvis heavy, low back light, ribs heavy. Inhale, nod your chin in. Exhale, round through the ribs to look up at your knees. Inhale, hold. Exhale, back down again. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl up. Notice that from your shoulder blades to your belly button just got heavy into the floor. As you go down, try to keep that contact. It won't be as heavy, but can you keep that part of your rib cage connected to the floor? Exhale, curl up. Inhale. Exhale, back down again. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl. Inhale. Exhale, back down again. One more here. Exhale, curl. Inhale. And exhale, back down again. Now we're going to do 4 on the 2 breath. Try not to imprint, right? It's still an ab prep. Exhale, curl. Inhale, down. Exhale, curl. Inhale, down. Is your low back light still? And down. Is your pelvis heavy? And down and rest. Elbows wide. Little side to side rock through the knees just to stretch out the chest. So right with your elbows on the floor, your shoulders aren't in neutral anymore. Not a big deal, right? Ideally, we can take our arms to this range of motion. And of course, for me, when I get here, get a little bit of an arch in my back to make that happen. Some of you might be more flexible through your spine than me and not have to do that. Let's come over onto our tummies and do a little bit of breaststroke prep. So, right, you're going to have your hands beside your head, your fingertips to elbows on the floor, your legs close together, kneecaps pointing down, resting on the middle of your breastbone and the tips of your nose. Top of the foot lightly presses into the floor to get some tone in the legs and lower torso. Inhale, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, use your back muscles to lift your upper chest away from the floor. Down. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lift. Down. Let's do it on the 2 breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more here. Up. And down. Arms alongside the body, palms facing the ceiling. Inhale, turn your palms inwards to face your thighs. Collarbones get nice and wide. Exhale, lift up. Your hands are not touching your body. And let's go back down again. Inhale, turn your palms inwards. Exhale, reach towards your toes with your fingers as you come up. And back down again. Inhale, turn the palms in. Exhale, lift. Down. Let's do it on the 2 breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more here. Up and down. Hands come under your forehead. Now, in this position, you can either leave your arms down or lift them with you. If your neck is a little funky lately or your shoulders are kind of yelling at you, leave the arms down. Top of the foot still pressed into the floor. Inhale, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, lift. Down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Down. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lift. And down. One more. Exhale, lift. And down. 2 breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more here. Up and down. Good. Let's just press back into our shell stretch. So sit back over your heels. Bend out your back, a little side to side rock, breathing. Now, right, if your hips and knees hate this position, lay on your back, hug your knees into your chest. And with this little side to side rock, it's just to make your fascia happier. Your fascia is everywhere. We're just trying to unwind some of the stiffness that likes to live in it, right? Prolonged inactivity or doing the same activity all the time will create stiffness in the tissue, right? Often we interpret that as muscle stiffness. Our fascia permeates our muscles, so it's fascial stiffness, and our fascia is outside our muscles too. It's everywhere. So, except for outside our skin. Let's go onto our backs to do our 100, shall we? Now, before we do our 100, I just want you to take a moment and go, am I in neutral? And I want you to notice if there's a little bit more ease in getting into your neutral right now than there was at the beginning of class. And if there is, fantastic. That's what the warm-up was about. Let's find our 100. So if you're going to lift your feet, you want to imprint first. Then you're going to lift up your legs one at a time to tabletop. Bring your legs together. If your neck is okay, you're going to inhale, nod, exhale, curl up to look at your knees. And you're going to go in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 10. Sniff, 2, 3, 4, 5, blow, 2, 3, 4, 20. Straight legs make it harder. Out, 2, 3, 4, 30. In, out, 2, 3, 4, 40. And if that's easy, drop the legs a little bit. Out, 2, 3, 4, 50. In, out, 2, 3, 4, 60. In, out, 2, 3, 4, 70. In, out, 2, 3, 4, 80. In, out, 2, 3, 4, 90. In, out, 2, 3, 4, 100. Take an inhale, exhale, come on down, hug your knees into your chest, a little side to side rock. If you didn't lift your legs, just let your knees rock side to side. You'll still get a release. Now there's about 100 different ways to do the 100. Showing you guys just a couple of them. Some of them can be choreographically complex, just to give a new challenge. If you're ever interested in that, just let me know and I'll feed it into a class sometime. Let's come up off our backs and we're going to do a little bit of half roll back. So, right, I want your legs bent, tight together, arms out, scoop your back around, pubic bone towards belly button, front of the ribs soft, back of the ribs open, waterfall shoulder blades, right? They're just flowing down your back. Take an inhale. Exhale, rock backwards on your bum. Inhale, rock forwards. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. Keeping that C curve in your spine. So you're trying not to let it flatten. One more here. And let's do 5 slow roll downs today. So arms are out, shoulders are down, scoop your back round, take an inhale. Exhale, rolling back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking your arms overhead. Now, right? You can either grab your leg to come up, or you can just bring yourself back up again, right? Grabbing your leg and pulling yourself up. Yeah, I'll show you that on the next one. Here we go. Exhale, going back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You could grab your leg, pull yourself up that way. Now, if that hurts, get yourself up another way. Find your C curve. Take an inhale. Exhale, going back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Reach through your heels. 2, and 1. Coming back up again. 2 more. Find your C curve. Take an inhale. Exhale, rolling back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one. We're set up in your C curve. Take an inhale. Exhale, curling back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, we're going to stay down here. We're going to do a little bit of our single leg circle. If you like something extra under your head, pop it under your head. Make sure your back's in neutral. And lift one leg to tabletop or go to straight leg. Now, the only reason you'd be in straight leg is if this is comfortable hanging out here. If this is painful, bent leg is a better choice. Foot on the floor is light, pelvis is heavy, low back light. We're going to go inside to outside with our circle. Inhale to start your circle, exhale to finish it. Why don't we put our thumbs on our ribs, our fingertips on the pelvis? Is that square staying square? Let's reverse. Outside to inside. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And place your foot down. Let's lift the other leg to tabletop or straight leg. And we're going inside to outside. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Reversing outside to inside. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And place your foot down. And we're going to come up off our backs to do a little bit of spine twist. Now, we do spine twists quite often sitting. We're going to do it kneeling today. My head's going to disappear. That's okay. Yeah. Because when I get up here, my head's gone away, but it doesn't matter. You just need to be able to see my torso for this. So what we're going to do is, if you're going to do it kneeling, now you can always do it sitting still, but you want to make sure that you aren't kind of this way, that you have a little bit of engagement in your bum to flatten, well, in the bottom of your bum, your Mr. Thought, yeah, to flatten the front of that hip. You also want to make sure that your knees aren't super wide. You want them right up under your hips. And then we can once again either work with our hands on our ribs or our arms out to the side. And right, if we're doing the arms out to the side, look at something eye level with your fingertips, go, okay, my arms are in a good place. I can see them in my peripheral vision. Now, if you're on your knees, tricky thing, don't let that pelvis move. You're gonna go in, 2, 3, exhale, center. So you think about those 2 ASIS points, right? What we had our fingertips on a moment ago for our leg circles, that they just keep pointing straight forward. So if I'm turning to my left ASIS point feels like it's pushing forward so it stays square. In, 2, 3, exhale, sending, looking at that back hand so your neck is turning. In, 2, 3, exhale, center. One more to each side here. Other side. And center. Good. We're going to sit back down again, and we're going to go to a wee touch of rolling like a ball. Now, if you've had sciatica lately or like disc pain at all, this is not a great exercise for you. You'll want to go back to your cat stretch, which we did at the beginning of class, on all fours, rounding our backs and flattening. Yeah. So for rolling like a ball, grab a hold of the back of the legs just above the knees, scoop backwards into your C curve. And then just sneak your feet in closer, 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 closer. When they get light on the floor, lift them up. This is your balance point. You're never going to bring your weight further forward than this. You're going to inhale, rock backwards, lifting your bum up off the floor, and then come back up again to that balance point. Inhale, rock back, and exhale up. Now you keep looking at your knees. It helps keep your back round. If you got stuck on the floor, you let it flatten. Get that bum up off the floor. You're coming right up onto your shoulder blades. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, forward. 2 more. Now, if that breath pattern isn't working for you, you can breathe a different way. All righty. Let's do a slow roll down to get onto our back. So reach your arms out. Scoop your back round. Take an inhale. Exhale, rolling back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to stay down here, and we're going to just do a little bit of our core work being in neutral, staying on our back. So I want you to make sure your feet are light, your pelvis is heavy, low back is light, ribs are heavy. Bring your arms up in front of your chest, straight arms, palms facing each other. Now, if you have a shoulder that's unhappy, cross your hands on your chest. Now, are your feet still light, or did they get heavy when you lifted your arms up? You're going to take an inhale. Exhale, lift one leg up to tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, take it back down again. Now remember, tabletop, right angle at the knee and the hip. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, back down again. One more here. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. And exhale, back down again. Let's go to the other side. Exhale, lift. Now, if you've been doing classes with me in the past, you might already be working on that idea of backpedaling the thigh bone into the joint and come back down again. So it almost feels like the top end of the thigh bone is moving towards your sit bone as you lift. It isn't actually doing that, but it helps the hip thigh bone sit deeper in the joint when you lift up. And put your foot back down again. Now we're going to add on to this. We're going to your other side, little endurance today. Exhale, lift up. Now take an inhale here. Exhale, straighten that leg. Inhale, bend it. Did your back stay in neutral? Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. So I know this looks like a leg exercise, but it is a torso exercise. Are you tightening your neck to do this? You don't need to. Are your ribs heavy? That's a goal. One more here. Exhale as you straighten. Inhale, bend, and put your foot down. Let's do the other side. Exhale, slowly lift up to tabletop. Is the foot on the floor still light? Exhale, straighten that leg. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. So is the part of your rib cage between your belly button and your shoulder blades still resting on the floor? Or does it want to lift every time you straighten your leg? And if it does, your core isn't working as efficiently as ideal. So we're trying to fix that. One more here. And bend and put your foot down. Rest your arms down a little side to side. Rock to those knees. It's breath or two here. So from here, we're going to move on to obliques. I want you to pop your hands behind your head. I just noticed my bun's a little bit off to one side. Oh, well, artistic statement, I guess. So, right. Obliques. You can either leave your feet on the floor or you can imprint and lift your legs up to tabletop. And if you are, see if you can figure out that bicycling, that backpedaling action to lift the leg up. You're going to inhale, not exhale, curl up. Inhale here, exhale, rotate. Inhale, center, other side, center, lie down. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, exhale, rotate. Other side, and back down again. Exhale, curl up, rotate. Other side, and back down again. Curl up, rotate. Other side, and back down again. Two more. Curl up, rotate. Other side, and down. Exhale, curl, rotate. Other side, and down. Rest. Put your feet on the floor. Drop your elbows sideways. Rock your knees side and center. Does this feel like there's a little bit more ease in the movement? If you're noticing that, that's how quickly our body can start to get a little bit more flow through the fascia, so it's gliding against itself more efficiently. The stiffness is where the fascia is bound up and not moving efficiently, and that's through dehydration. And well, we all know we're dehydrating all the time, which is why we drink water a lot, yes? So, and movement and fluid intake, if it's consistently done, helps maintain fascial fluidity, yeah? And those Olympians, they got a lot of fascial fluidity, yeah? Let's go to a little bit of shoulder bridge right now. So nothing extra under your head. Feet are within the width of the body. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift up, stacking your knees over your ankles. Inhale, hold. Exhale, back down again. Now, if you're like me and just noticed you feel like you couldn't get your knees over your ankles, your feet are too far away from your bum. Don't get them right tight against your bum, right? That starts to put a lot of pressure on the kneecaps when you lift. We're going to take an inhale. Exhale, lift up, stacking your knees over your ankles. Inhale, hold. Exhale, back down again. Just one more of those. Exhale, lift. Do you feel the thud working at the top? And back down again. Now, right, we're going to do our add-on, which is either heel lift, tabletop, or barely hover 1 foot at a time off the floor. The right easiest is heel lift, hardest foot floating, yeah? So, right, let's find neutral again. Take an inhale. Exhale, press your feet and lift up until your knees are stacked over your ankles. You're going to inhale, lift 1 foot. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, lift your other foot. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. We're trying not to twist that pelvis. Down. Other side. And down. One more on each side. Is your bum still at the top or did it drop down? Take an inhale. Exhale, put your bum on the floor. If that irritated your hamstrings, a little rock and roll in and out with your knees, with the legs straight will help. We're doing one more set of those today, folks. Yeah, so legs are bent, feet are within the width of the body, back's in neutral. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift up, stacking your knees over your ankles. Inhale, lift one foot. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift your other foot. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. One more on each side, keeping that butt nice and high. And put your bum down. Once again, if it irritated, straight little rock in and out is always kind of nice, right? We're going to do a little rollover prep right now. So if you like something extra under your head, this is a good exercise to have that. I want you to take your hands, put them on your forehead, palms facing the ceiling. That helps get the arms out of this exercise. They'll react, but ideally they don't react much at all. We're going to find our imprint to start with, and then lift our legs up to tabletop. Once your legs are up, I want you to actually unbend your knees a little bit, get your feet up towards the ceiling, drop your knees in towards your chest a little bit, and then cross your ankles. Your knees are an open window. Now, I want you to notice the distance of your thighs to your torso, and you're going to try and maintain that as you do this exercise. You're going to take an inhale, exhale, point your tail up at the ceiling. Inhale, put your tail down. Exhale, curl. Inhale, release. Now, if you've had sciatica lately, this is probably not a good exercise for you. Exhale, curl. Inhale, release. As you curl back, the ribs get heavy. One more here. Curl and release. Now let's cross your ankles the other way. Knees are still up, away from each other. Feet are still higher than knees. Take an inhale. Exhale, point your tail up at the ceiling. Inhale, down. Exhale, curl. Inhale, release. Exhale, curl. Inhale, release. Two more. And release. Point that tailbone up at the ceiling and put it back down again. And let's place your feet down and come over onto your tummy. So we're going to do a little one leg kick here. If your knees get sore doing it up on your elbows, which I've been getting folks to do lately, if this hurts your knees, come down flat. Or if you're getting lots of popping and cracking, come down flat. It's just, right, because popping and cracking in the knee joint is not a happy thing. And literally, that's because the glidability of your tissue is not efficient. And why put more tension in there? That just makes the glidability worse. It's like if your car engine didn't have a lot of oil in it, you don't keep driving the car, yeah? So, but if you're up on your elbows, you want them right under your shoulders. For everybody, whether you're down flat or up, you're going to have your legs close together. You're going to have your pubic bone pulled forward towards the floor a little bit and your shoulders out of your ears. You're going to inhale to prepare, bend one leg, pull your toe in, bounce out a bit, pull your heel in, straighten your leg. Other leg, bend your leg, pull your toe in, pull your heel in, straighten your leg. Toe, heel, and straighten. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Toe, heel, straighten. Toe, heel, straighten. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Toe, heel, and straighten. One more here. Toe, heel, and straighten. Last leg, toe, heel, straighten. Let's come down onto our bellies if we aren't already there. Pop your hands under your forehead. And we're going to do a little bit of single leg extension here. Shoulders are out of the ears. Now, when you do your single leg extension, because extension of the thigh bone in the joint is quite small without changing pelvis placement, your thigh is never going to come off the floor doing this exercise. If it does, you're twisting your pelvis. So, right, we're going to find nice wide collarbones. You're going to pull your pubic bone slightly forward towards the floor to help support the low back away from the floor. You're going to inhale to prepare. And exhale, just reach one leg up a little bit Can you feel compression where your thigh and your butt meet? And come back down again. Exhale, lift, looking for the sense of compression in your thigh. And back down again. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, pubic bone forward. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. Inhale, pubic bone forward. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale, pubic bone forward. Exhale, lift. And down. Now, let's go to a 2-breath version of this exercise, alternating legs. See if you can still sense the compression at your thigh, lifting your leg. So, right, shoulders out of the ears, pubic bone forward a little bit. Inhale to prepare, exhale, lift one leg, inhale down. Other legs lifts and down, lift and down. Now, you might notice a subtle little shift side to side through your body if you're super sensitive to it as you lift your legs. If you're noticing a big movement, you're trying to lift your legs too high. Exhale, lift, inhale down. Exhale, lift, inhale down. Exhale, lift, inhale down, lift, down. One more on each side. Last one. And let's go to our shoulder stretch. So just sit back over your heels, rounding out your back. Scoop your belly button in. Breathing. A little side to side rock is always nice. And remember, you can always do this laying on your back, hugging your knees into your chest and doing a side to side rock. All righty, let's just do a little bit of side leg work. We're going to start with the kick today. So you want to have your legs at a 45 to your torso. So feet are flexed, right? There's a hinge at your hip joint. The side of your waist is off the floor, right? Not the side of your ribs. You can have your hand down for balance, just fingertips, not palm, or you can have your hand on your leg. You're going to lift your top leg up. You're going to kick it forward twice, going inhale, inhale, exhale, point your foot and pull it behind you. Inhale, inhale, exhale, point your foot and pull it behind you. Now, as you do this kick forward, you're still trying to keep your sit bone reaching away from the top of your head. It doesn't start to come forward. Ooh, I almost went off the back of my machine there. That was entertaining. As I tried to get my leg further forward, right? Try to keep that pelvis from tucking forward to bring your leg forward, yeah? In, exhale, reach back. One more, in, and reach back. Straight line from your head to your feet. Now, here's the fun thing about this. We are working in parallel here. Lots of times people to lift their legs higher, turn the knee out, yeah? I want you to think about keeping that knee pointing straight forward as you lift your legs. So you're just gonna lift up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot. So you'll notice as I do this exercise, my leg is not getting super high because I'm keeping the space of my waist off the floor. And I'm also not turning out. If I turned out, I could go all the way up here, but that's not what we're working on. Lift up, flex, bring it down, point, inhale up, exhale down, one more here, up and down. Now we're gonna work a little bit on rotation of the leg here. What I want you to do, actually, you know what? Let's do this. You're gonna bend your bottom leg to help you balance. You're going to take your top hand to the top side of your pelvis, and then I want you to lift that top leg up so that it's parallel to your hip joint. It's not super high. Then flex that foot. It just will help you feel where the knee is. And then I want you to turn your knee down, bring your knee forward, turn your knee up, bring your knee forward. Don't move the pelvis. That's why you have your hand on your pelvis. Turn down, parallel, turn up, parallel, turn down, parallel, turn up, parallel. Are you breathing? Up, parallel, down, parallel, up, parallel, and rest. Put that knee on top of the other knee. We're going to go do an arm exercise here. So you're just going to take your top arm up right over top of your shoulder. And make sure you haven't rolled back when you did that. And then take that top arm and angle it down towards your feet a little bit. So you want to kind of be pointing at where your wall and your ceiling meet opposite the top of your head. Then from here, we're just going to rotate that arm by getting the palm to turn up in both directions, ideally if we can, right? And what we're looking for is that the elbow is moving to do this. I don't care how you breathe on this. You got to breathe. If you got lots of popping and cracking, get that hand nice and close to your hip. Yeah. One more here. Good. Now, let's just straighten out your legs, straight line from your head to your tail. And we're going to go to our staggered legs. So you're going to inhale, lift the top leg, exhale, lift the bottom leg, take it down. Are both legs still parallel? Up. Squeeze your legs together and down. Up. Squeeze and down. Up. Exhale, squeeze and down. Are you still keeping the side of your waist off the floor? One more here. Up. Squeeze and down. Now double leg lift. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. So once again, you're trying to keep both knees pointing forward. You're trying to keep your pelvis level so it's not tipping forward and back. One more here. And rest. We're going to do this on the other side. We're going to start with the kick. So right, easiest way to make sure that you're in the right place is you line up your torso with the back of your mat, and then you just pike your feet forward till they meet the front of your mat, and that'll be a 45 on your hip joint. So the waist is off the floor, yeah, because that top sit bone's reaching away from the top of your head. And you're going to lift the top leg up, kick it forward twice, going inhale, inhale, exhale, pull back. In, and pull back. Inhale, inhale, exhale, pull back. And when we're doing this, we're working on a bit of the bounce aspect of our fascia because it ideally has a little bit of bounce in it. So at the front here, we're going bounce, bounce, and pull. Inhale, inhale, exhale, pull back. In, exhale, pull back. One more here. In, and pull back. Straight line from your head to your feet. Hips are stacked. Side of the waist is off the floor. You're going to lift your top leg up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot. Inhale as you go up. Exhale down. Now, where is that knee pointing? Is it pointing straight forward, or is it wanting to turn out a little bit to go higher? Because most of us do not have rotation in our hip joint where the knee would point 100% sideways, but even if it's pointing slightly up towards the ceiling as you lift up and down, you're going to be working on different tissue than what we're trying to target with this exercise. Now, let's bring that bottom knee forward, right? That's going to help us balance. Bring your hand to the top side of that pelvis, right? Find that pelvic ring. Then lift your leg up so it's parallel to the floor. Now, ideally, the side of the waist is still off the floor. Flex your foot, and we're going to turn down, parallel, turn up, parallel, turn down, parallel, turn up, parallel. Breathe. And right side of the waist is still off the floor because you're reaching out the heel of that leg that's up. We're trying not to move the pelvis, just the thigh bone in the joint, which is tricky. One more here. And then drop your knee on top of your other knee. Now, right? Make sure you feel some weight on the outside of that thigh. That helps you know you haven't rolled back. And reach that top arm up to the ceiling. Angle it down towards your feet a little bit. And then we're going to go for that rotation of our arm in the joint. Yeah? So turning that elbow all the way around. Where we have a tendency to have weakness is with the elbow coming forward and the palm up. Right, that's our external rotation. Yeah. And remember, if you got lots of popping and cracking or pain, get that hand closer to your hip and don't push it so far, right? Pain is always a no-go zone. One more here. And then let's just straighten out our legs, make sure they're in alignment with our torso. Again, side of the waist is off the floor because that top leg is reaching out. And you're gonna lift your top leg up, lift your bottom leg to meet it, take the both down, up, squeeze your legs together and down. Inhale, lift, exhale, squeeze and down. Inhale, lift, exhale, squeeze and down. Are you keeping both knees pointing forward as you do this? Up, squeeze and down. That bottom leg is really gonna wanna turn it out. Most of us feel more stable in that position. One more here. Now, double leg lift, exhale, lift, inhale down. Now, if this is hurting that bottom greater trochanter, you're rolled too far back. You gotta get that top hip a little further forward. Exhale, up, inhale down. 2 and 1, and rest. Now, let's do a little bit of a release for all of that. So I just want you to pop onto your back. Start with just have your feet wide. If you like something extra under your head, you can have it there. And drop one knee into the middle and pick it up. So we're just working on releasing and finding the movement of internal rotation here in our thigh bone. This rotation is the first rotation that people lose when they're on a pathway to a hip replacement. So the more we can encourage it to be part of our life, even though it feels a little unnatural for most of us, the better chance you have of not ending up down that road fully. So, right, we're gonna do one more release for this. I want you to step your feet closer together, cross one knee over the top of the other knee, drop your arms sideways. So we're just gonna rock the knees side and center here, and side and center. Now, palms can be up or down. You're pressing the back, like you're pressing your hands into the floor, your arms into the floor to help counteract the movement of the legs. Now, we should do that on the other side too. So let's just recross those knees and rock them side and center here and breathe. Notice if one side feels different than the other. It is not unusual. If you get a lot of pain going one way, you might want to have a private lesson with me to help you figure out how not to do that. Because it's finicky, I can't just talk about it. It's very specific. I have to look at what you're doing. Let's do one more to each side here. And then I'm going to get us to come up to a seated position. We're going to do a little bit of spine stretch forward. So, right, you can always sit on a yoga block for this, or you could have your legs in a diamond shape. But if your legs are straight, your feet are about shoulder distance apart, collarbones are wide, nice lift through the core. Take an inhale, exhale, start with your head round forward. Inhale, exhale, come back up again. Now remember, the elbows are going to stay bent here. Exhale, round forward. So it's not about trying to get your hands to your ankles and come back up again. It's about trying to figure out how to flex your spine above your belly button. And back up again. And remember, the curve of your neck matches what you can do in your rib cage. So if you got your chin pinned to your chest, you're not doing that, right? You've just really kind of folded just at the base of the skull, and we don't want that. We want a nice even curve. Back up again. Let's do the 2 breath. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. One more here, down and up. Now, we're going to work a little bit on finding our J curve today. It's part of a couple of exercises we do in mat Pilates. One of them is called teaser, where we do a V-sit like they do in gymnastics. And this is just the beginning of that idea. When you're in your J curve, I know I've done this before, but it's been a while. I want you to think about rolling off those sit bones again. It's kind of like you have a bowling ball in your belly button so that your back belly doesn't push forward at all. And then it's like you're trying to show your collarbones to somewhere in the way across the room from you. Now, we're going to grab the back of our legs because we're going to do this with our feet off the floor. So you're going to curl back, have your chest nice and open, but don't look up at the ceiling. That makes your chin lift. You're just looking a little bit up your wall. And then you're just going to lift 1 foot at a time up and find your balance point here. Now we're just going to hold for 10, 9, 8. Sorry, this is going to be 5. Let's put your feet back down again. I forgot that was going to be 5. Now, if that felt like, okay, Ruth, it could have been 10, I'm going to make it harder for you. So we're going to curl back, find that open chest, lock your feet in, find your balance point. Now, if this is easy for you, let go of your legs and we're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And put your feet down. We're going to do that 2 more times. So you can either hold on to your legs or let go. If you want to make it really hard, straighten your legs and try and hold them in the air with no hands. Yeah. So, right, we're going to curl back. Sneak your feet in. Lift them up. Find your balance point. Chest is lifted. And you can let go if you want to. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And put your feet down. We're going to do that one more time. So curl back. Chest is lifted. Find your balance point. You could let go if you want to. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put your feet down. Let's go onto our bellies to do a little swan dive prep just to counteract that. Open those hips back up again. So, right, we're going to find our banana shape. So you're going to come down onto your belly. You're going to have your legs apart a little bit. Your feet are inside your mat. Now, I want you to make sure your knees aren't pointing straight down at the floor. You want to just pull your heels a little bit towards the middle and turn your knees slightly out for this exercise. You're going to inhale, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, come up onto your elbows. Now, you can use your arms and your bum to come higher. Your elbows do not have to come straight here. Inhale, you're reaching out your toes. Exhale, come back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, extending up into a shape like a banana. Do you feel a stretch on the front of your hip? And back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale up. If you're not feeling a stretch on the front of your hip, use your bum. Try to press your hips more open. And back down again. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, down. We'll do 1 more. Exhale as you lift. Inhale, hold. And exhale, down. Beautiful. We're going to go to our shell stretch. So just lift up, sit back over your heels or lay on your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Remember, you're not trying to have your chest on your knees if you're up on your legs, right? If you're on your back, you can feel like you're pulling your knees into your chest because that rounds out your low back. What we're working on here is rounding your low back. So you're trying to sit on your heels as much as you can and scoop your back around, kind of like you got a baby porcupine laying on your lap and you're rounding over it, because squashing it wouldn't be pleasant for you or the baby porcupine. And then we're just going to finish off with a nice basic mermaid today. So I want you to sit on up. You can either sit with your legs crossed, like I am. You could be diamond. You could, if your hips won't tolerate this kind of this big an outward rotation, my legs just drop here. They just do that. But if this is not comfortable for you at all, you could have your legs straight, just have them a little wider apart to help you not tip over. I want your hands beside your body. I want you to pick something eye level in front of you to look at. Open your collarbones. Inhale, reach one hand up to the ceiling. Exhale, side bend, keeping both sit bones down. Inhale, stack your spine up. Exhale, take your arm down. Inhale, lift up to the ceiling. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, up to the ceiling. Exhale, take your arm down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Now, as I side bend, I'm reaching for the wall, not the floor. If you reach for the floor, you won't get the same stretch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach for the wall. Inhale, up. Exhale, release. Last one here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, up and release. So Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a fabulous week.